o'clock. And good morning. So we're currently on Grimsel Pass. We've made it back. Last night we were obviously riding through the loop of Furka Pass, Susten and Grimsel, and by the time we got here it was absolutely pitch black. So I've been up since 6 in the morning just doing the loop again. Furka Pass was incredible. If you're gonna do Furka, definitely do it first thing in the morning, as there was basically no one there, like 1 or 2 other people. That was around 7 o'clock and the views were absolutely stunning. I did mainly film in vertical for that, since I'd already captured the footage last night. I wanted to get some shots for Instagram. But yeah, we're now on Grimsel and this road is also incredible. It's quite weird because obviously I did this last night and I kind of vaguely recognize some of the places, some of the turns. It all seems very vaguely familiar. However, I really had no idea what any of this looks like, and as you guys can see, the roads and the surrounding area is absolutely stunning. It's such a nice ride. Okay, and so this is the lake where when we were riding yesterday, there was this beautiful reflection of the moon across the lake. So I'm assuming that this was here. Just judging by the silhouette of those mountains just straight up ahead. Absolutely gorgeous here, and really lucked out with the weather. It's the middle of August and it's absolutely perfect. The really interesting thing about Grimsel Pass is it's really old. It dates back all the way to the Roman times. I did a bit of research last night, and yeah, and apparently there's some documentation from the 1300s which confirms it, and then it became a trade route. Obviously back then it probably didn't look anything like this, especially in terms of the road surface. But that's quite incredible, just how historic this place is in terms of people commuting and traveling through here. Hundreds and thousands of years, and still to this day it's one of the main, I guess now, attractions rather than a sole trade route, but I'm sure it still serves some sort of functionality when it comes to transport. And then just to the right we've got the dam, which we saw yesterday. I had no idea that it had construction. There's quite a bit of construction going on in general, especially down below. Yeah, I'm not sure, but even then, I'll be honest, it doesn't really ruin the view that much. It still looks absolutely incredible, especially, as I said earlier, on a day like today. So we made it to
to the top of Grimsel Pass. We've just got a couple of bikers that just turned up, but we made it to the top. I say to the top. It's not the exact top. The actual peak is just a few hundred meters that way, but this is close enough, and I wanted to find an area where it's not going to be super crowded. The ride is actually really enjoyable. It's much better during the day than it is at nighttime. Yesterday, I mean, I did get to ride it, but obviously with it being pitch black, I didn't get to see any of it. And yeah, I think the views here are really spectacular with the lakes and the reservoirs and the dam surrounded by the mountains. It looks really, really incredible. In terms of the road itself, it's nothing too challenging. Most of the hairpins are nice and wide. The incline and declines aren't particularly challenging either, especially compared to some of the other passes. So I think this one is more approachable. We'll see what it's like from the other side, because we're about to descend it and then head back to the Airbnb. I think these guys just want to take some photos. I might have ruined that for them. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're just about to descend it and head back to the Airbnb, because even though it's still the morning, it's getting more crowded and things took longer than initially anticipated. There was a small incident on the way, which took out a chunk of time. So a bit of an impromptu video. I wasn't planning on videoing here anyway. We're on our way to Grimsel Pass, but I just came off the bike again. On a hairpin, just lost traction and came off, slid off. Luckily it was fine. I wasn't going too fast. Gonna have a bruised hip. I can feel it already. The bike, luckily this time, seems okay. Yeah, there was a few people. I'll put the video clip in now, because I was filming for Instagram, so it's in vertical. What a morning. Luckily, I did message my Airbnb, asked if I could check out a bit later so I can film all this content, and they said it's absolutely fine. But yeah, it's never good. I really need to take it easier. I didn't think I was even going that quick or that fast into that corner. It was pretty normal, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, I'll review the footage later and just see maybe where I went wrong. But yeah, that's that. Nice way to start your day. But we're good. And yeah, it's time to head back, pack, and head to the next location.
Can I have ask you this? Will you take me a photo?
Yeah. I'm guessing you want this in the background. I'll do a few.
Thank you very much.
No worries, mate.
Where are you from?
London.
London?
Yeah.
Okay. Your vacation?
Vacation work.
Vacation.
So,
here in Swiss.
Pardon?
Your vacation here in Swiss.
Well, I'm going through Europe.
Okay.
So I'm leaving Switzerland today,
Okay.
heading to France and down to the border of France and Italy,
Uh-huh.
then slowly making my way to Spain. What's your name? Adam, Julian.
Nice to meet you.
Enjoy. And we're now at the summit of Grimsel Pass. It's really, really busy, as you guys can see. It's just gone around 11:30 local time here, so I'm guessing a lot of people have been riding in the morning, similar to myself, and are now here stopping over for an early lunch. And I imagine over the next couple of hours, it's only going to get a lot busier. It kind of does remind me of some of the summits, particularly in the Dolomites, just the way this is built and the cafes and just the amount of cars and motor vans that there are in this area. A really nice hotel. I'm sure the prices to stay here, especially in season now, are astronomical, but I mean, the view of that lake to the right is something else, and the experience, I'm sure, is worth it in terms of just waking up on top of a mountain. Although having said that, I would much prefer still to wild camp, but of course the hotel comes with some amenities, and you get a nice shower and things like that. So we're just about to start the descent as well now, which will end up at the town of Grelch. I think that's what it's called, which is actually where we started the loop, if you guys recall yesterday, heading over to Furka Pass. And speaking of those mountains just up ahead, if you see that winding road going up it, that's Furka Pass. So it's literally one giant loop, and we're just about to start, well, we've just started descending down Grimsel. And if you wanted, I mean, honestly, if I wasn't going all the way to France today, I would probably stay on and just carry on down this route, because these roads are absolutely incredible. Another thing that I've really noticed about the Swiss mountain passes is, in general, how well maintained they are compared to some of the ones that we did in Italy. They're a lot wider, and I think as a whole they're a lot more friendly when it comes to riders of all levels and other vehicles, because in Italy some of them, I mean, like Stelvio's super steep, but then a lot of the other ones, they're just so narrow. Although having said that, I guess where I stayed for wild camping, that was extremely narrow, but that wasn't a major mountain pass in any way. There were virtually no tourists there. So at least for the main mountain passes here, I've been really, really impressed, and they're really confidence inspiring in terms of the way you're able to ride them. You're not constantly thinking, is there a car coming round the corner, and do I even have any space to get out the way if they are? So yeah, so hats off. As much as there is a few issues in terms of watching out for your speed, which of course, you know, I'm not going to advocate speeding either way, but we're bikers, so we know what's up. You do, I guess, in Switzerland, you really need to be careful with that, because I've heard some horror stories of people getting fines for hundreds and hundreds of euros for only going a few kilometers over per hour. And even, I think if it's something like if you go 20 kilometers an hour over and you get caught, they take your vehicle away from you on the spot. So yeah, I do kind of ride around here with one eye on my speedometer constantly, which isn't the most enjoyable experience. But having said that, I think it's a small price to pay for, I guess, everything that it has to offer here. And also, I guess from a safety perspective, I understand. At the end of the day, these roads are dangerous. You're hundreds or thousands of meters above sea level with just drops on the side. I mean, right now I've got a barrier, but I've done plenty of mountain passes without any solid barriers. So yeah, so you really do need to be careful. Having said all of that, it's so good to be on the road this morning, and it's a bit of a shame that I'm leaving Switzerland already. It's been short but very, very sweet. Minus what happened earlier on. After an eventful morning seeing some spectacular sights around Furka Pass, Susten and Grimsel Pass, it was time to start making our way out of Switzerland, traveling 270 kilometers from Goms, which is where our Airbnb was based, all the way to a small mountain village called Valazan. Although whilst riding through Grimsel Pass, I seemed fine and my spirits were still high despite everything that happened. It's only once I got back to the Airbnb and all the adrenaline wore off that the impact of the crash earlier on in the day really started to hit home, and the journey ahead of 270 kilometers was definitely not an easy one. As high as the highs are throughout adventures like these, the lows can be pretty low as well, and that's something that I was just about to find out during my time in France.
So we've made it to the top. It's a bit sketchy, more than a bit.